A Pittsburgh newspaper just splashed Gertrude Ederle's English Channel record across its entire front page in Serbian. Not English, Serbian. August 9th, 1926, and America's immigrant press is already telling this story to the people the big papers weren't writing for. This is the Amerikanski Srbobran, the American Srbobran, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, August 9th, 1926. It was the official organ of the United Society Srbobran-Srps, and by its own masthead, the leading and largest Serbian daily in America. That's not a boast. Serbian Pittsburgh was real and large, and this paper landed on breakfast tables in Serbian and Cyrillic every single morning. Look at that main headline up top. It runs across the top of the page in big Cyrillic type. It says Gertrude Ederle crossed the English Channel with a record, 14 hours and 31 minutes. She was the first woman to do it, and the paper notes she beat every man who'd ever done it before her. That detail is right there in the text. A Pittsburgh paper in Serbian broke that down for its readers the very next morning. Now look over at the top right corner. There's a subscription price box. The rates listed cover the United States, Canada, and Europe, and the city of Pittsburgh itself. Different tiers, all spelled out in Cyrillic. For that, you got Serbian language front page news from Belgrade, Paris, Washington, Kentucky, Canada, and the English Channel, all in one Monday edition. The paper also ran a column right next to the Ederle story about French Premier Poincaré changing a financial plan, and another about President Coolidge. They called him Coolidge, spelled out in Cyrillic, weighing in on Mexico. International, national, community, all of it in your first language, for less than the price of a cup of coffee per week. Down in the lower half, the page gets wonderfully eclectic. There's a short item about opium coming out of Russia. There's a lightning strike on an oil warehouse in a place called Varin. There's a notice in the lower right corner for something called a Balkanski picnic, a Balkan picnic, a community social event sitting right next to a dispatch about a revolt in India and a story about soap consumption in America. That mix, the enormous and the neighborhood, the global and the local, that's what this paper was. It wasn't translating American life for Serbian immigrants. It was building a whole Serbian-American world on a single broadsheet page. What this page says, taken whole, is that 1926, America had a parallel press most people today have never heard of. Serbian, Polish, Yiddish, Italian. There were hundreds of these papers. They covered the same world the Times covered. They just covered it for the people the Times assumed weren't reading. Another front page tomorrow. If you want to keep finding them, subscribing helps.